We've been urging Apple to deliver a new iPhone design for a couple of years. It carried out its present design long beyond the acceptable threshold with the iPhone 11, iPhone 12, iPhone 13, iPhone 14, iPhone 15, and iPhone 16 appearing practically identical. Well, people, it appears like Apple dusted the dust off of its drawing board. We have reported live photographs that could corroborate the iPhone 17's new design. Even while this leak sounds authentic, you'll still want to take this news with a grain of salt. There's no knowing if we're looking at authentic hardware from Apple. There's always that risk that Apple might announce a phone with the same boring old design. For the past several months, we've been following leaks and speculations saying that Apple is likely to adopt a Pixel-like design for its future phone. Rather than flaunting a square camera island on the rear, we could see a horizontal camera visor running practically the whole of the phone. If accurate, then this would be a major shift from what we've seen throughout the years. After viewing models of what it could look like, Mentionbu official on X.com may have just hit us with a real-life photograph showcasing the iPhone 17's backplate. In the image, we notice the Pixel-like visor. In fact, it almost appears like a hybrid between the Pixel 9 and the Nexus 6P. In any case, there's something quite weird about this image. We only notice one cutout for a camera. There's one hole on the left side of the phone for what we presume will be the main camera. Other than that, we see the cutout for the LED flash. This raises several issues like, will this be the base iPhone 17? Also, is Apple opting for a single camera approach? Maybe Apple wants to go for a gimmick like everything you need all in one camera. That seems doubtful, but at this point, it's anyone's guess. There's also the likelihood that we're looking at the back for the iPhone 17 Slim. In order to keep the phone small, it might have to give up its telephoto camera. This looks a bit more likely. In any event, it looks like this will be the future of the iPhone's design. What we know about the iPhone 17 design so far. For the 2025 iPhone lineup, display analyst Ross Young says Apple will offer a pill-shaped cutout on every model, Standard and Pros. While he earlier reported that under-panel Face ID technology will be accessible on Pro versions, he now says it has been delayed till the iPhone 18. A rumor indicates Apple plans to scrap the titanium frame for aluminum for all iPhone models. With that, a leaker anticipates the rear of the iPhone to shift from aluminum to glass without the user noticing it. Here's what this adjustment could signify for future Pro models. However, the ordinary iPhone 17 models will eventually have always-on display and ProMotion technology, as Young anticipates the company to add a low-temperature polycrystalline oxide display to all 2025 models. ET News reports Samsung and LG could be the biggest benefactors of Apple's OLED panel orders utilizing these technologies for this year. Besides that, every iPhone 17 is likely to have the same display size as its predecessor, 6.3 inches for the lower variants and 6.9 inches for the iPhone 17 Pro Max. While a Plus variant isn't anticipated to be introduced, there are whispers regarding an iPhone Air. According to a DigiTime report, this iPhone could employ a revolutionary OLED display technology. The touch and display driver integration solution is scheduled to emerge as early as the second quarter of 2025, and Apple is expected to be Novatech's first customer. This technology could make the iPhone display even slimmer. According to Fast Technology on January 15, Apple has incorporated the Apple Intelligence function to the iPhone since iOS 18.1, but this AI technology has not prompted a wave of iPhone replacement. According to overseas reports, Apple users' response to the use of Apple Intelligence also seems to be somewhat lukewarm, with more than 60% of users saying they are not very interested in Apple Intelligence and believe that other functions of the phone are more important to their daily user experience. In addition, the report also cites reasons why iPhone consumers are apathetic to Apple Intelligence. Data shows that failure to upgrade to the latest iOS system version is the main reason, accounting for more than 50%, which means that customers would not actively upgrade the system because of Apple Intelligence. In addition, some consumers consider that it is not practical enough or are doubtful about the accuracy of AI. Well-known analyst Ming-Chi Kuo also poured cold water on Apple Intelligence. He pointed out that there is little indication so far that Apple Intelligence can contribute to Apple's hardware replacement wave and service income, and projected that Apple may face larger issues in 2025. It is worth mentioning that Apple Intelligence is now only available in English-speaking nations. Other languages, including Chinese, Korean, Japanese, and Korean, will be expanded as early as April, which may help create a new wave of popularity for Apple Intelligence. That so, it's crucial to handle these leaks with prudence. Apple generally tests numerous prototypes before finalizing a design, so the leaked panels may not represent the final product. With at least 8 months remaining until the formal introduction, curiosity surrounding the iPhone 17 is expected to rise. Apple has been adding powerful CPUs to its iPhones in the past few years to provide users with the utmost performance. However, keeping these chipsets cool under a heavy load is becoming difficult, as we have observed many examples of overheating of various iPhones in recent months. Therefore, it makes sense Apple would be looking about ways to mitigate this problem going future. According to a new claim from Chinese outlet midrivers, Apple's iPhone 17 series will use a vapor chamber cooling mechanism, which transfers heat evenly across a greater surface area. While this would be novel for iPhones, it's a relatively regular component in Android phones, especially from OEMs like Samsung and Google. At present, iPhones use heat dissipation plates comprised of extremely thermally conductive metals to address overheating difficulties. Unfortunately, this strategy has not totally remedied the overheating problem, leading to complaints in numerous iPhones in the past, especially the iPhone Pro series. Thankfully, the vapor cooling chamber, likely to be introduced in the iPhone 17 series, decreases heat through a process where liquid absorbs heat and eventually evaporates into a gas. This method helps transfer heat efficiently. The rumor also states that all iPhone 17 models will include higher refresh rate displays, a feature which was previously confined to the Pro models in the prior few years. However, it remains to be seen if the company would use 90 Hz panels for the standard versions or upgrade them to 120 Hz peak on all variations. The iPhone 17 series is reported to have substantial design modifications, particularly with the iPhone 17 Air. This model is likely to be Apple's smallest iPhone yet, with a thickness of just 5.5 millimeters. While this ultra-slim design is stunning, it might come with certain concessions, such as the inclusion of a single speaker instead of the normal 2 speakers present in prior generations. Display sizes are expected to differ across the iPhone 17 series. The iPhone 17 Air is believed to feature a 6.6-inch OLED ProMotion display with a 120 Hz refresh rate. The iPhone 17 Pro is believed to arrive with a 6.3-inch display, while the iPhone 17 Pro Max is rumored to have the largest display in the series, reaching 6.9 inches. Camera upgrades are expected to be a feature across the iPhone 17 series. The iPhone 17 Air is believed to contain a single 48 megapixels back camera and a 24 megapixels front camera, enabling high-quality photography in a small form factor. The Pro variants, including the iPhone 17 Pro and iPhone 17 Pro Max, will presumably include more advanced camera systems. The Pro models could incorporate a mechanical aperture for enhanced depth of field adjustment and increased performance in diverse lighting conditions. The iPhone 17 Pro Max, in instance, might sport 3 48 megapixels rear cameras. Under the hood, the iPhone 17 series is believed to be powered by Apple's A19 CPU, with the Pro models possibly featuring an A19 Pro variant. The iPhone 17 Air and basic iPhone 17 are believed to arrive with 8 gigs of RAM, but the Pro variants could have 12 gigs of RAM, providing improved multitasking and overall performance. So, that's all we know for now. We'll be sure to keep you updated as soon as we have more information. Thanks for watching.